Hello, my loves, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Mo. I'm a professional psychic and intuitive and a content creator. And today, this pick a card reading is going to be based around the next 6 months of your life, but it's also related to the full moon eclipse that we had in Scorpio last Friday. Let me pull that date up for you. That was the full moon eclipse in Scorpio that we had on Friday the 5th. It was very intense for me. Like, that sparked like 3 days of like manifestation work and, cleansing rituals and protection baths and a whole number of things. But full moon eclipses usually take about 6 months to fully play out. And that's what today's pick a card reading is based around. It's just going to take a look until what did that full moon eclipse in Scorpio do for you, and how is it going to play out over the next 6 months of your life? Yeah. As always, the links to all these decks that I'll be using can be found in the bio. But this is the Y Spell deck. This is also the Starseed Oracle. I'll also be using Moonology. And then I'll be using the Wizard's Tarot to grab our clarifiers. Yeah. As always, you can find my Amazon storefront or my private reading links down in my Stan store. All that information will be down in the description bar. But let's get right into it. Additionally, I do not identify as a fortune teller or energy interpreter, although sometimes the things that I say in my readings do come true. I ask that you use my readings to confirm your intuition and then also double check that, with your spirit guides, ancestors, and angels. Yeah. Additionally, always remember that you have your free will. As spiritual beings, our free will is the strongest thing that we have. And if you don't like anything that comes out of these readings today, use your free will to manifest or to carve out a new future of your own. Yeah. If this is your first time here, or if you're just new to the pick a card reading, style of readings, what I recommend you do to help you pick a card is, find yourself in a nice relaxed position. Start taking some deep meditative breaths. And then you want to inhale once and exhale as you look at each card pile. Do that for each card pile, and I like to focus on, the crystal, the tarot cards, and the oracle cards beneath them. Whichever card pile feels like a vibrational match with your current energy, or whichever pile resonates the most, that is the card pile that you want to choose. Sometimes you may resonate with more than one pile, but that's probably because that there are additional messages in those card piles for you. Yeah. Without further ado, this is pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. And I'll find you over at your timestamps. Alrighty, so if you chose pile number 1, you chose the blue moonstone crystal. This is a really good stone for, authentic communication. And let's get right into it, yeah? Okay. Okay, so pile number 1, you definitely have like an ending. It's like clear as day, but this moon card in reverse, it feels like it's just been some long-seated like trauma, plain and simple, if I'm being completely honest. But it's not just like any old general trauma, excuse me. But this is trauma that has gotten in the way of you progressing in your life. You know what I mean? And then it's also like it's been very hidden. It's been very hidden. Moon card is also related to like illusions and Piscean energy. But with this moon card in reverse, sometimes the moon card is just things that are like unclear and they shape shift and there's this ebb and flow and it's kind of hard to catch them, right? But this thing, it just feels like it's been buried for so long. And it feels like, maybe I'm hearing like 3 or 6 months ago, you feel like, yeah, girl, I took care of this. And it was a wrap, you know what I mean? But it was still having an impact on you in unseen ways. Yeah, but this full moon eclipse in like Scorpio, I don't know if you saw this or if this was just like an energetic understanding, right? It just feels like your energy or your vibration has changed. And the moon was the catalyst for all of that, right? So that you can continue on and proceed or progress with like your spiritual ascension. Yeah, but it's pretty plain and simple with this Ten of Swords. It's like clear as day, and it was like I'm also hearing that even if you felt like you handled this situation before, it was fated, right? With all these fated energies on the World card, it was more about time and experience and a right moment in time, divine timing, before you're going to be completely able to relinquish those things, not just from your mental energy, but from, your energetic being or your soul. Yeah, but let's get some clarifiers, right? What else is it that pile number 1 needs to know about this energy? Right? I guess that what I really want to know is how is this going to play out over the next 6 months? Like, what areas of their life is this ending taking part in? Please and thank you. This one wanted to come out. Okay. I'm hearing self-value. Yeah. So this is your self-value. So like, I don't know if you didn't feel like you deserved nice things or like luxury goods, right? But that's kind of what I'm getting with this Nine of Pentacles in reverse. It really, like, this energy that's going to be ending or tapering out over the next 6 months, it's going to impact your relationships and the quality of your relationships, right? Again, I'm getting twofold. They're really making sure that I hit this point of like your self-value and what it is you deserve. And then once you really analyze what it is that you deserve, that's going to change your relationships, right? And the way that you communicate with people. And I don't know if there's been like a certain way that you've been stalling when it comes to your relationships, but that stalling is going to end. And then this is a new beginning. Like all new beginnings, the Page of Pentacles, it's very early. It's a little flighty. It's not super solid, but the Page of Pentacles is the first one to get the ball going. But my, these cards are flying out. So then we had the Eight of Wands in reverse. We had this one, this one, this one, and this one. All right, Eight of Wands in reverse. You're like, things are going to change. You're going to start doing things the complete opposite way than you've ever been doing them, right? And Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, Eight of Wands in reverse. You're going to start doing things the complete opposite way that you've ever done them before. And then like, so what's coming through with this Justice card is really interesting because part of me wants to say that you're not going to have to think about it. But it feels like that the thought process is going to be like, you're going to think about it, but it's going to feel like quick. You know what I mean? Especially with it being next to this Eight of Wands. Like it's... What? This is weird, really weird, but like a bakery example is coming through. Like somebody tells you to put like pudding in the recipe or yogurt in the recipe, and you're like, of course, that's a no-brainer. But that's what everything is going to feel like, right? Everything is going to feel like a no-brainer. I just saw 1133. Maybe that's a message for somebody, right? But it's just going to feel like, and it's so hard to explain because it's, as soon as it comes into your brain, you know what I mean? You're going to act on it. And then it's also going to feel like a little bit rash, right? With this Queen of Wands in reverse. The Seven of Cups in reverse, this could be like in the past you got really distracted, you know what I mean, by a certain number of things, or you started daydreaming, or it took you forever to get the ball rolling. But it almost feels reckless with this Queen of Wands in reverse. But it's not, I'm just not getting that it's bad. I'm just getting that it's not bad. You stop feeling sorry for yourself. There's this like this lack of boohoo mentality. There's this lack of like, but what if, whoop-de-whoop, wop-de-wop, this is what happened in the past. All that shit just feels like it's gone. Where you might have been like a little more like, I don't know, preemptive or hesitant, you know, in the past, but now you've just swung to the complete opposite end of the spectrum where you're just like, I'm going to do the goddamn thing, right? And over the course of the next 6 months, this is going to play out. The hidden energy with the Knight of Cups at the bottom of the deck is really telling me that this is going to play out with the way that you communicate your emotions. So again, I'm not sure if you had a hard time like expressing yourself or letting people know how you feel or anything like that. But again, going back to what I was saying, it's just going to start flying out. It's just like, well, this is just what I feel and this is what it is. And now what? Yeah. Can we get a bit of an action plan for pile number 1, please, and thank you? Additional information for pile number 1. How is it that they should proceed, and what is it that they should focus on? Please and thank you. Okay, it was this one, then 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 it was this one. Okay, so for your action plan, oh, this just like feels like stop accepting bullshit. Or at least that's what I heard. Excuse my French. I hope they don't flag this. Right, and look at, like, you have a bunch of 6s. You have a bunch of 6s and 2 4s. And then you have a 15, which also breaks down to 6. Right? And then another 4 at the bottom of the deck, right? The 4 of Cups in reverse at the bottom of the deck. So you might be seeing a lot of 4s, 4, 4, 4. You know what I mean? Or a lot of 6s. Yeah, pay attention to those. But right, this 3 of Swords, this is just you like maturing up about realizing I'm tired of not feeling successful in this certain area in my life. It really feels like success with this 6 of Wands and this Emperor card in reverse. But then also the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. I'm tired of not receiving the things that I deserve to receive, right? And it's coming from this 3 of Swords maturity place. Like, if I have to do something else, then I'm going to do something else. Right? You're very much giving fed up energy. And the Devil card, it feels like kind of dark and murky and like grungy and shadowy here. But I energetically feel like I'm fed up. Like I'm fed the F up. Right? Like, let's get a move on, babes. We're just not going to do that anymore. I'm getting that the hard part for you is that, like, okay, girl, now you're ready to go with this Knight of Wands. Now you're ready to manifest some new things, but the key to actually getting them is taking your time. Right now that you're at the point where you're sick of this. You're absolutely sick of it. 4 of Cups in reverse. You know what I mean? You're sick of it. You're sick of it. You're sick of it. And you've been focusing on the negatives or just like being a victim for so long. You know what I mean? But now you're like ready to burn a building down or something like that to get what it is that you want, to make your manifestations come through, to charge them down and have them like sit in your lap. But I'm getting that the wisdom and the realization here is that it takes a while, and then it's going to take a while. That just because you changed your mind and you changed your behavior and now you're standing up for yourself, that doesn't mean that your entire life is going to change over the course of a night or a season, or maybe even over the course of 6 months. Now, you definitely will see progress over the course of this next 6 months, but it just really does feel like it's locked up behind these like doors with this 4 of Pentacles in reverse, because it's just going to take so much time, right? The King of Pentacles, he's so patient. He's so wise, but it's because he has the expertise and the experience, right? This isn't somebody who earned his throne, you know what I mean, by defeating people like the King of Wands did, you know, or by leveraging his relationships, such as, you know, the King of Cups, you know, or even just having access to the information and, you know, studying and knowing what it is he's supposed to do or saying the right words, right? As the King of Swords. This is the King of Pentacles. He took the time. He was the last one, you know. He is truly the tortoise. The slow and steady wins the race, and he was the last one standing, like Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus energy, right? You're going to get to that success. You're going to get to your happily ever after. It's just, you know, now that you've learned this lesson about how to tackle it down and how to stop accepting BS, you know what I mean? Now you just got to sit here for the long haul. For the long haul. Yes, my loves? Okay, let's get into your oracle cards. Okay, what oracle cards do we have? First up, we're going to check in with your Moonology oracle card. You have conclusions are within reach, full moon eclipse. Right? I couldn't have predicted this. Like, I did not see these cards before doing this, and it's funny that like the pile number 1 you got the full moon eclipse, but whatever. Okay, this is on page 29 in this booklet. Okay, Full moon eclipse. And just like that, adore sham slut. If you pull this card, it suggests that the situation you're asking about is about to reach a peak, or it has already done so, and things are now out of your hands. What you're experiencing now is what your soul signed up for, a way for you to learn and for your soul to evolve. So allow events to unfold and be easy on yourself if you're letting go of someone or something. Know that it's the right time, and as hard as it might be, forgiving someone for what they did could be the key to resolving the situation in a positive way. It doesn't make right what they did, but it releases it so that you can move on. Attuned to the moon, that which is meant for me will not pass me by. And additional meanings for this card: doors which slam shut now will not reopen. It's time for you to get back on track. Forgiveness will set you free of karma. Meditation, pranayama, and yoga nidra are all recommended now. Cede control and let events unfold. And then the teaching. Full moons are nearly always about climaxes and very often about conclusions. Full moon eclipses are the same, but on steroids. A full moon eclipse can be hard to handle because it purports change, something many of us are uncomfortable with. But change is a part of life, and this card, no matter when you pull it, reminds you of the fact full moon eclipses can also give us a glimpse into what Carl Jung called the shadow self. Work with your darkness. Yeah, that could be a call to do shadow work for someone. And then you have the cosmic heart. Devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. When you surrender to a state of devotion, you find yourself flowing with all of life. You are being called to refocus your attention deep within, to the intelligence of your own heart, to bow with deep reverence to your inner temple, to live your life in devotion to this place, to make your life one big moving prayer. Perhaps you felt a bit off kilter lately, sensing that the potency of what you've been doing has gotten a little watered down or weak. Perhaps you've forgotten that what made you start doing them in the first place. If so, this is your call to take a moment and to reconnect with the truth at the very center of your heart, to get back to the essence of what you're about, to devote your life to what you care most about, to turn your gaze deep, 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 deep. There are seasons for harvesting and seasons for sowing. Right now, you are being called to plant your soul's seeds and to sing them with deep devotion, to feed them with the sweet waters of your own soul, and to lose yourself in the potency of what is the most expanding of your heart. To live your life according to what makes you come alive, rather than what everyone else thinks. To make your life one big moving prayer. And then your journaling or meditation prompt is, how can you make your life a moving prayer? Yes, my loves? Alrighty, that's all I have for you. Thank you, Pal One. Please thank your ancestors, spirit guides, and angels. And always remember, I'm available for private readings, and all my cleansing baths and resources can be found down in my description bar by following this Stan Store link. I love you. Please let me know if this resonated down in the comment section. Subscribe for more videos like these, and let me know if you need help on anything regarding spirituality or if you have any questions. I love you, and until next time, this is XOMO. Bye. Alrighty, hello, pal number 2. If you chose pal number 2, you chose the emerald crystal. Yeah, this one is programmed specifically. It's really good for money and attracting abundance and things of that nature. And then also changing your money mindset and your personal beliefs that may be blocking the way that you operate with your funds. Excuse me, truth burp, or your finances. Yeah, but let's get into these cards and see what they have for you. I'll set your oracle cards over here. But yeah, let's see. Okay, so when it comes to the full moon eclipse, it looks like your ability to fight for what you want has changed. Yeah, with the 5 of Wands in reverse and the Page of Pentacles in reverse. And then this is if it don't apply, let it fly. But it's the energy is switching. So Some of y'all may have felt like that you never had the energy or you were always tired. Like you just like couldn't muster up the energy to fight for your goals and your dreams. And something is coming through. This is probably specific for just a couple of you. It could be related to the food that you put into your body, right? Or the things that you're consuming. With this Page of Pentacles in reverse, it feels like I don't know what some of you were like eating or consuming, but it feels like it was drawing on your energetic resources. Yeah, this is really weird and really specific because it feels like maybe somebody had like a really weird allergic reaction out of the blue, or now you can't eat the same things that you used to eat all the time. I don't know, or right, or like maybe you had some type of like surprise like health concern. Yeah, like this energy is like really funky, but that's what it's coming through as right now. But there's something about like your energy and what you're consuming and the healthiness of your body being tied to your ability to proceed. And it seems like okay, now you can't have like dairy or like eat meat or something to that effect anymore, right? But now, because you're not engaging with those things, now you actually have more money to be on the right path to chase your dreams and your goals. Or like maybe you're not dizzy anymore, or maybe your like migraines dissipated, right? This is really interesting. Now, that was just for one group of you, but the Chariot card feels the same. The other group of you, it feels like you were investing a lot of your time and your money and your energetic resources into things that you weren't successful in, or to things that there was just like a lot of competition, or maybe not even the fact that it was just like a lot of competition, but it feels like frenetic energy, right? There was just a lot going on and you were just throwing your energy at anything that sticks, right? You were making not the wisest, really young and well intentions like investments, but they weren't paying off, right? Because you were just throwing energy anywhere. You weren't utilizing your strengths. You weren't making a decision that was actually in alignment with where you wanted to go and where you needed to be for that point in time, right? I'm also hearing that some people like, I don't know if you were like, this is just an example, but maybe you just started, it's like, okay, I want to start investing. And then you went straight to like investing in real estate and you didn't know anything about investing in real estate, where you probably should have started off with like stocks and bonds or something like that, or investing in like something just like smaller. Y'all get what I'm saying? Maybe taking like an introductory course instead of going right in into trying to get in like a 4 year degree, where maybe like a training, a master class, or a trade school would have been something a little bit better suited for you. Right. Again, take all that with a grain of salt, but I'm getting that's what's been transformed. Like this, like whatever y'all were doing that wasn't actually helping you out. I don't know if you see more clearly now. I can see clearly now. The rain is gone. Right. And now just the path has been made clear for where it is that you want to go. Yeah. Or if that's what's going to happen over the next 6 months. But let's get some more information. Hello. Can we just get some more clarity on what we can expect to see in pile number two's life when it comes to the next 2 months, or the next 6 months, I'm sorry, of their life? I just looked over at my little mic. What is it, my mic is over here and then it's connected to my laptop, and I just wanted to make sure it was still running. And I looked at the time, it said 4:44. So again, this could be a sign to pay attention to your structures and your habits. For some of y'all listening. Yeah, but let's get, what other clarity do we have for pile number two? This one wanted to come out. Knight of Swords. Again, like I was saying, it was like information. Information, the wrong information. And it feels like this message, like, I think it was that one. It feels like that. Okay, like, and then you have the Three of Wands in reverse at the bottom of the deck, of course. Right? Okay. Yeah, so a lot of the things I was saying before are kind of like reiterated here, but the Knight of Swords, again, it feels like there was just a lot of information and you had the wrong idea. they weren't bad ideas. They just weren't the idea that you were called to do, right? Like, God calls us to participate and to live in purpose and to fulfill our assignments. Yeah, and because I don't know if you have like a lot of like negative views. Like, this feels like really negative. It feels like a negative Nancy or like a negative Nathan or somebody who finds the potholes in everything. This is Aquarius and Venus energy, and sometimes Aquarius can be like can lack couth or a little brash or straight to the point or hurtful, and not and like Aquarius isn't like that because it wants to hurt people's feelings. It just wants to tell the truth, and it wants the truth to be known. But with the Five of Swords in reverse, it wasn't the truth, baby. It wasn't the truth. I don't know what it was, but you weren't following your intuition. And had you just followed your intuition would have told you what it was that you needed to do. Or it would have put you in alignment with your divine assignment. And again, I'm just kidding. I don't know why you didn't want to do that. I don't know who you were talking to or what other information you were taking in, because there is just like a lot of information coming around that was like tiring you out, that felt like a blockage. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. Again, if you were thinking about stocks and bonds, it kind of feels like, oh, but we're in a recession, or, or we're in a depression, so I need to stock up food, or I need to learn how to do this skill, or I need to know how to do that, which all of those things are valid. All those things are very, very valid, but you shouldn't allow those things to pull you off of the roadmap that you need to be on, right? And King of Cups, and this is so weird, because this King of Cup, it feels like you have the emotional wisdom and the emotional maturity, but that wasn't what you were operating from. You were unintentionally, and look at this, King of Cups and Queen of Cups, and they're at opposite ends, and it feels like you were absorbing a lot of bits of information. You know what I mean? You just might have been spending too much time on social media, if I'm being honest. You spending too much time absorbing low quality information on social media, and you believing in like a lackluster mindset or like a scarcity mindset could have been the reason why you're not seeing your manifestations come in, right? Because there was just all this mess going around. And you were just taking all of that in. Okay, I thought I was going to ask how this was going to play out over the 6 months, but they wanted to reiterate and to clarify what was going to go on, right? Or what has been going on, rather. But what else do we have for pile number 2? What is it that can they expect to see, or what do we advise that they do over the next 6 months? Please and thank you. Where is it that pile number 2 is going? Oh my gosh. These don't feel like reversals. Okay. Okay. All right. Okie dokie. Okay. So kind of what I'm picking up on, I just want to make sure you can see all of these. Kind of what I'm picking up on is that like your relationships are going to make it easier. Right? Your relationships are going to make it easier. And then all the money, all the connections, all the opportunities that you felt like weren't coming in, or that you felt like were like blocked off. And then like the way where you can just, that you were just like identifying everything that was wrong or everything that was difficult. Either a person is going to come to your life. It's a couple of things. I'm getting 3 different things. So like, if it don't apply, let it fly. I'm getting, for some of y'all, it's going to be a really significant partnership. Like there's going to be one person who's going to treat you about developing a mindful practice, or, staying the course and being focused and diligent about what it is that you want. Another group of you, it's going to be like business partners. You're going to find business partners, creative partners, artistic partners, colleagues, classmates that you're actually going to be able to collaborate with and make it easier. And then another group of you, it's not going to be a person at all. It's going to be like an energetic connection, or like a spirit, or like a creative process that feels like a partnership. You know what I mean? That feels like you're going to be walking with it all the time. And it's just going to make it so it doesn't feel like work anymore. Eight of Pentacles in reverse. This just feels like easy. It doesn't feel like you're working yourself to the bone. And King of Wands in reverse, you're chasing down every possible thing. You're making really brash and like difficult decisions when there's no reason to do that, right? And now I'm getting that full moon helped you develop the judgment. Now you have the judgment. Now you have the realization. I kept running from thing to thing to thing, or I was like, I was running myself ragged. And you kept getting these like low quality results. You know what I mean? You kept getting these like cheap results. You know what I mean? And the things that you really weren't, the things that you really wanted to get were kind of like locked behind doors. You'd get a little bit, or you get like a quick spurt, but it wasn't anything lasting, right? So over the course of the next 6 months, this is your advice, you know what I mean, to really figure out what that partnership is, whether it's a person, whether it's a creative process, or whether it's like a group of people or a collective, and then work with this Empress card, Wait to see what the divine brings to your lap. Wait to see what you attract. You know what I mean? And ask for what you need. It's okay to ask for the support. It's okay to say, hey, classmates, who wants to study? I need some help with X, Y, and Z. Right? Or, to go to your partner and say, like, I can't really do this. Can you help me out with this? Or would you mind taking care of it? Whatever you were doing. And they're saying this 6 month period is like very specific for you. Because like, pal number one, we were working with 2 months and 3 months and a number of other things, but they're saying 6 months. So whatever it was you were doing in the previous 6 months, do the complete opposite of what you were doing in the next 6 months. And then that's going to help you learn the lesson. It's going to help you become wiser, stronger, and to proceed. Yeah. So there's that. I'm sorry. I just kind of got distracted by this. I had never paid attention to the gnome, the salamander, the sylphs. I don't see any undines, but I just know the nature spirits. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little distracted. But this may be a message for some of y'all. But I believe this is a sylph or a fairy, and then this is a hummingbird. But girl, I'm sorry. If you're into nature spirits, maybe communicate with them. Those may be the things coming to help you. Okay, I gotta go out of my way to get another oracle deck for y'all. Right, I'm gonna get the Herbal Healing Oracle deck. Y'all are special because like this wasn't even a part of the original plan. But the fact that those nature spirits just jumped out to me so loud, and then like my Herbal Healing deck was like, pick me. So here we are. What is it you would like to share with us? Please and thank you. Dreams. What are your dreams? What are your dreams? And like you could be receiving manifestation ideas or like things to do in your dreams. Some of y'all are probably like very like vivid dreamers. Maybe lucid dreamers. You may be into astral projection or anything like that. Yeah, this is it. This is it, right, my loves? Yeah, this is good God. So I don't know if you like work with herbs or anything. This one is coming through. Tulsi is like holy basil. Right, my love? So get you some of that. Work with that if you can. Pay attention to your dreams. And it's not like this, like, because like it's funny, I just started reading these in reverse where before I wouldn't. But the manifestation, the dandelion in reverse. Again, like I was saying before, like get you some dandelion tea, right? Dandelion tea is really good for like, I think it's dandelion root and like burdock root. Like using the both of those, they're going to be really good for your heart chakra and purifying that space, but also like purifying the liver and pulling toxins out of your system, right? Like I was saying with somebody earlier, like the food that some of y'all are consuming, like, I don't know if it was making you anxious or distracted. And again, like, I don't know if you're eating like a lot of like diet sodas or like artificial sugars are just like, they just like wreck your nervous system because your body doesn't know what to do with them. And it kind of like sends your like body into this like, I don't know what this is. I'm anxious. I'm nervous. So I'm just going to store this into fat and deal with it later. But that also has an effect on your psyche, right? But don't take that advice from me. I'm not a medical professional. I'm an herbalist, but take all that with a grain of salt, right? But anyway, this caution, again, all of this is just like kind of reaffirming these messages. But if you want to work with any of these herbs, these root that can help you, right? With the exception of poison ivy, I'm not going to advise that you go pick up some poison ivy, but have caution. Have caution about what you're doing with your energy. It is better to conserve your energy. It is funny. I learned this when I took like a trading course. What was it? This was like last year. I was taking like a trading course and I learned it's better to miss out on an opportunity. You know what I mean? Because you just wanted to wait. Because you wanted to wait and to see if it was the right thing to do, than it is to like rush and mess up. And that's what I'm getting like a huge vibe for right now. Like, just be cautious about where you are throwing your energy. Don't just throw your energy everywhere. Think about what it is that you really want. What are your dreams? What are your daydreams? What is like your dream lifestyle, right? What is your rich lifestyle? And then have faith that it's coming to you, right? It takes time. It takes time. And conserve your energy, babes. Conserve your energies, because your manifestations, they're coming to reality. I just need to, that one just needs to sit. So I just need that to pop out, right? Let's go to the next one. You have full moon in Cancer. A personal issue reaches a solution. Things are likely to get very heated as full moon in Cancer is a super emotional sign. So there could be something of an explosion of feelings around now surrounding your question. It's important to be sensitive to other people when you pull this card. There are some very fine sensibilities around, so tread carefully as you move toward your goals or dreams. This card indicates an especially feminine time. It also heralds the time to deal with any family issues coming up. Nothing to worry about. It signals the challenge is now coming to an end. This card also suggests both that a domestic matter or private issue will soon come to a head, and that it's a great time to move house. The answer to your question lies in being a kind leader. This is the time for you to step up and to agree to overcome your insecurities. Then we also have attuned to the moon. It may be best to move toward what you want in a sideways manner. And then additional meanings for this card. Meditate to soothe heightened emotions. Don't be clingy. Stop sulking. Have you had enough family time lately? And then the teaching. The heightened emotions of the moon and Cancer combination can't be ignored. However, Cancer is one of the moon's 2 home signs, along with Taurus. So, astrologically speaking, the moon loves to be in this sign. In fact, she rules Cancer. This means that with this card, there's a sense that all is as it should be. Or don't worry, all will soon be well. Yes? Let me just move on to your last card. Yes, but again, like this, like ginseng is like so loud. We the Hathors, deep love, mother's milk, birth is a portal. There's a ton of like mothering energy coming through, right? And then I'm also hearing like housing design. So I don't know if like even like changing your environment is gonna help. But yeah, this is like, there's like mother in Cancer, and then the moon is the mother. So like that just wasn't something I could ignore, right? But we the Hathors. Birth is a portal that ushers in new life. The Hathors are here to remind you that you're a child of the cosmic mother, and you're being called to be held by her deep, never-ending love and embrace. This is a tender, nourishing card reminding you to receive the deep, deep love of the mother's embrace. The Hathors know that the journey on earth can be rocky and lonely at times, but you are being reminded to rest more deeply in the mother's arms. This is a card of extreme potency, of femininity, of creation, and of birth. You're being called to mother yourself and to mother others as well. To surrender to your sacred femininity. To create and to surrender to your own creations. To hold and to be held. You're being called to remember your place in the web of life and to realize that the cosmic mother is watching you every step of the way. You may be going through a transition right now, moving from one way of being to another. If so, you're being reminded that you're cradled in a sacred container, that you're more held than you could possibly imagine. And you have access to more love than your heart can bear. They gave me this image and I just have to share it. You know how, like, when, I don't know, like, if you've ever been in a plane and like you experience turbulence, that's what it is. That's kind of what they're showing me that protection is. And again, like, you're pulling in all this information from social media, all this like anxiety inducing like food or information, and it kind of feels like it's rocking you. But developing like a mindful practice and getting grounded is really going to help you, because it's like the way they explain turbulence to me, right? Is that like you're going through the air, and then like turbulence is this like you're getting, and then look at this, like this flame is going crazy. It's probably because the air just came on, but there were no coincidences, right? But like when turbulence happens, it's like all over the place. It's because you're receiving air from every single like direction, and it kind of like shakes. So you're actually stable in the container of the airplane, right? As you fly through the air, it's just that you're being pushed in this direction, in that direction, in that direction, in that direction. Yeah, but you're stable, and then the coast becomes clear and you fly onto your destination, right? They just needed me to share that image with you, and that's kind of the container you're being held in. Like, there's all this turbulence around you, but the container that you're being held in is the Cosmic Mother, right? If you're struggling in any way, you're being reassured that things will work out. Open yourself to receiving the overflowing love of the Cosmic Mother flooding toward you from every direction. Let it stretch your heart. And then you have a starseed activation. I allow the deep love of the Cosmic Mother to wash over me. I'm loved and I am held. Yes, my loves? Alrighty, that's all I have for you. Please thank our ancestor, spirit guides, and angels for allowing me to deliver these messages to you. I just saw 2255. And yeah, until next time, this is XOMO. Please let me know if any of this resonated down in the comment section. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe for more videos like these. If you have any video requests or anything you would love to know more information about, I'm here to help you demystify spirituality. So if you need help on anything, let me know. And as well, if you need more clarification or specifics on any of this or how it may be applying to your life, check out my private services, resources, and tools down in my Stan store. All the information can be found in my description bar. I love y'all, and until next time, this is XOMO. Bye. Alrighty, hello, pal number 3. Welcome to your pick a card reading. If you chose pal number 3, then you chose, I don't even know what the name of this crystal is, if I'm being 100% honest. It's like I was going to say angelic clear quartz crystal or a celestial quartz or something like that, child. It helps you connect to the divine and other realms and the highest version of yourself. I'm like, I don't know, I'm like interested. I was going to say excited, but I'm really interested because y'all got so many cards. And then I was like, is all these cards right? And your guys were like, yes. And I was like, oh, okay. But let's go ahead and get started. You have so many cards to start. Let's just flip them all like this. Okay, pal number 3. Okay, so you might have resonated with another pal. I'm not going to say which one. But, like, give me a second. Yeah, it kind of relates to another pile, but it feels like you have, it's similar, but it's like quite literally the opposite, right? Where there was like, I'm just kind of sitting with, when it comes to this full moon eclipse or like the next 6 months of your life, you're going through this stage in your life where you may have been exhausted or you may have felt like you needed a lot of rest. But now like you're like, I'm good. I got this. I believe in myself. I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. Right? But it's because like but it feels like you're like F that. It was like I'm tired of like sitting in the bed and feeling sorry about myself. F that. I'm not gonna do that no more. So there's this new sense of bravery, this new sense of courage, this new sense of risk, this new sense of I'm just going to get out and do the goddamn thing, and I don't care how it's going to turn out. I'm just going to get out here and do it, right? I don't know what it was. It's very much giving like, I'm not sure what like your fire placements are, but I'm getting a lot of like Mars. So like pay attention to where you're like Mars or Scorpio or maybe even your Taurus placements, but I'm really getting like this heavy like war, like like Aries and Mars, like destruction. I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna conquer, I'm gonna control. Either you're with me or you're getting destroyed. Yeah. But that's what I'm getting. I'm getting that's what the full moon has done for you, and that's kind of what the and either some of y'all are feeling this energy right now, but I'm getting like this energetically feels like a growth pattern. So some of y'all may feel like I'm just so tired, I'm just so exhausted, I need to rest, I don't have the strength to do all that, or you don't trust yourself, to stand out against the crowd and take on the obstacles. But and then what is it? Who is it? Sukihana? She's like, what's the obstacle? What's the obstacle? But that's where you're gonna end up. That's where you're gonna end up at the end of the 6-month period, talking about what's the obstacle. But can we get some more clarification and information for pile number 3, please? What is it we would like pile number 3 to know? What's the obstacle? Pile number 3. Okay, this is very interesting. Interesante. And look, we have the 7 of Wands yet again. And again, like I even feel like I have to use like a larger spread for y'all just because like there's just so much energy here. Yeah. But additionally, oh my gosh, y'all, it feels like y'all like, and then also pay attention. I'm also getting like Mercury. Like a lot of astrology is coming through here. Like I was not talking about astrology with really any of the other piles. So that's probably why like y'all have so many cards because y'all are really impacted. But I'm getting Mercury, like your thought process. With this Ace of Swords in reverse, like your thought process. Because I'm getting that like your thought process it influenced all this stuff. There were like, I was going to say limiting self-beliefs, but that's not it. It's like the way that you were operating. It's the way that you felt like you had to go about things. Or like, this is just an example, but you had to get a house and a car and get married and have 3 kids and a dog with a picket fence in the middle of the suburbs. And you're like, again, F that. I don't want that anymore. That's not for me. And you trying to accomplish all those things just felt so exhausting. And you were trying to act like everything was fine because like, I'm getting that some of y'all like you could do those things and you were on the track to doing those things, but it wasn't really what you wanted. So it felt so exhausting and overbearing, right? But once you let go of those things, once you really understood like, the social conditioning, if you will, as to the things that you were supposed to want, quote unquote, and why you didn't really want them, after that point, you're like, well, now that I know what I want to do, again, F all this, that's not what I want. I'm going to go after what I want. But what's this coming through? Yes. And look at that. This is it. Look at this. Now the flame coming on down. It scared me a little bit. Exactly what I was saying. Exactly what I was saying, right? Again, like you're no longer investing in things that actually pull on your energy, that make you feel good and popular, and where you're getting all this attention, but it's not really what you want. You're done with that. You're going after the things that make you feel emotionally fulfilled. And you know what those things are because you used to think about them all the time. Again, we're just going to go back to that house, marriage, picket fence, doggy example. You're like, that's not what I want. I've always wanted a tiny home, or I've always wanted to live abroad. I never wanted to get my doctorate degree. I've always wanted to be an artist and just like paint and create like clay sculptures or pottery or whatever it is, right? You've been sitting on that information for so long. Excuse me. And something about that full moon eclipse, it's changing something in your spirit to wherever the course of the 6 months, you're going to slowly realize that those are the only things that are of value to you. Those are the only things that you want, right? And those other low quality things, you don't have to deal with those at all. You don't have to deal with those at all. Exactly. And then like Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck, you're really just going to be carrying the things that you value, the things that you want to invest in. Yeah, and then you have the strength. And then you're going to have the strength. All this energy, all this passion, all this fervor, all this willpower is going to feel like as if it came out of nowhere. But it's not coming out of nowhere. It's always been within you. It's just that now you need less rest because the things that you don't want to do, you're not doing them anywhere anymore, and therefore you're not being drained. Yes. That felt very clear and concise. Like there was like a lot of cards here, but that felt very clear and concise. Are there any other cards we would like to get pile number 3, please and thank you? Any other messages for pile number 3, please and thank you? Yes. Your inner child is coming through here, or maybe even some of y'all have children. Like childlike energy is coming through right here. But just look at all of this. And now we have nothing but like success, joy, and satisfaction in picking out the life of your dreams and going after what you want and having what it is that you want. Yeah. 2 of Wands. I just love this. I just love this reading for y'all, right? This Empress card is like, it's 2 things, right? You're no longer going to take on the responsibility or like take on a whole bunch of things that you don't want to do, that you don't deserve, that don't bring you emotional satisfaction. And you're going to stop bearing those emotions and you're going to start communicating those emotions, right? Once you start communicating those emotions, they're kind of showing me, I was going to say like dominoes. I'm not even sure if it's like dominoes, but this is such a weird image. It's not dominoes. You know how people take like playing cards, like in a traditional like playing card deck with the, I know the tarot so much, I almost said like the wands, with the suits, with the clubs, the spades, the diamonds, and the hearts, and they stack them up and create towers. The image that they're showing me is that once you start expressing yourself, that tower of expectations is gonna, and then look at this flame. Y'all saw that flame go out, and now it's getting big again. That that tower of cards is going to collapse upon itself, and then it's going to be stacked up perfectly like this. It's going to be stacked up perfectly like this, from going to this tower, this big tall tower, this mountain of achievement, but then it's going to be stacked perfectly, neatly and nicely in a compact tower of something that you can carry around, but something you really desire, right? That's kind of what the success feels like with the 6 of Wands. But this is all connected to your inner child and your inner child, or even your children. Again, I don't know if you're gonna, like, if you're a teacher, if you work at a daycare, but there's just something about children that's going to help inspire you to understand this complete emotional journey. The 9 of Cups is about emotional, like, wisdom and fulfillment, but it comes through when we realize the value of the complete emotional journey, right? From the 5 of Cups of, like, you know, the Ace of Cups of like new and refreshing emotional opportunities, relationships with the 2 and 3s, dissatisfaction and malcontent, you know, with the 4 and 5, you know, the sharing of information and storytelling and childlike energy with the 6 of Cups, all of it is included here with the 9 of Cups. And then once it's kind of like you've done everything. You've done everything and you've tried everything. And once you've done and tried everything, it's going to be like, what is it that I truly want? Which of these cups, which of these emotional realities do I really want to take off of the wall and say is mine? Yeah. And then throughout the next 6 months, what's really going to happen, it's kind of like hidden energy, right? And then this process needed to die a long time ago, and it's going to. But this 2 of Wands is like, you know, you're evaluating the past, everything you've accomplished, and then the future. What is it that you want to come in? What is it that you want your new future or reality to be? This is a really lovely reading. I'm really excited for y'all. Right? So again, I said y'all got a lot of cards. So y'all got 2 of the Moonology Oracle cards. A new start is coming, new moon. The answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini. So again, this full moon, y'all could see some progress within a month, within like a month and a half. Right, babes? Because that full moon in Gemini, it's not that far out. Where'd I put my booklet? And here it is. I'm going to start with new moon. A new start is coming. It's on 10. This is a yes coming your way. This is one of the most auspicious cards in the deck. It's totally positive and suggests something new and exciting is developing. The situation you're asking about is blessed. And then just like, look at that flame, y'all. And you are on target to achieving your goals. The message from the universe is that you're starting all over again in some way. Be that on a new or better course, or just feeling more positive about achieving your desired outcome. If you've been feeling stagnant, this card reminds you that life goes in cycles and you're moving into a new cycle now. This is the time to wipe the slate clean. If the situation you asked about is toxic, either that will clear up now or something totally new and fresh is on its way. Attuned to the moon. I'll see it when I believe it. Additional meanings for this card. A new start is on its way. You will soon start to feel more hopeful about getting what you want. Emphasis on want. Your belief that your dreams can manifest is working well. Forget about the past. The new moon marks the start of the waxing cycle and the midpoint of the dark moon. It's a dark and veiled time, when the moon is invisible and a time of rebirth. It's a time that witches do their work, making wishes and laying down intentions for the new cycle. An intensely magical time, when it's easier to pierce the veil to other worlds. Yes, and let me go to the answers you need are coming to you. Full moon in Gemini, which is on page 23. Okay. This card is a reminder that it's important to speak your truth. But remember that your words have consequences and impact your listener. Right now, you need to guard against indiscretion. The answers you need may very well come soon. The issue you're facing could well be one or a few conversations away from being resolved. If you're inquiring about a love situation, a little flirting may be called for if you're in the middle of an argument. Okay. This card comes to you as a reminder of the old, very non-Gemini message. Least said, soonest mended. It's good to talk, but be careful you aren't causing yourself any issues with your words. Words have enormous power. As metaphysician Florence Scovel Shinn put it, your word is your wand. You create magic in your own reality every time you express yourself. Attune to the moon. Have an important conversation, but stay calm. Additional meanings for this card. Don't be superficial. Someone is trying to flirt with you. Have you noticed? You need to laugh off this situation and just move on. Job applications have good prospects. And then the teaching. Talk, and more talk as the emotional full moon moves into the communicative sign of Gemini. It's too easy to say too much. So mind how you go if you pull this card. This card can also indicate an enjoyable social event, since the full moon in Gemini is a great time for socializing. This card also augurs well for any study you're either taking or considering. Yes. And last, but absolutely not least, we have Forge, Don't Follow. Again, like all of this is just like, I'm just so excited for this pal. This is just like such lovely energy that all of y'all are like walking into. Forge, Don't Follow. Excuse me, truth burp. Forge a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. If you wait until the path is perfectly paved, you won't be forging your own path. You'll likely not even take the first step. Don't let a small detail like being unable to find someone to show you the way be the reason you don't step forward and lead. Let it be the reason you do. The most courageous and needed leaders are the ones who don't wait for permission or until the morning they wake up feeling ready. They take a deep breath, put one foot in front of the other, and figure it out as they go. They don't wait for someone to lead them. They lead themselves. This is a card for leaders. You're here to pave a path that hasn't been walked before, to go first and to lead the way for others who are calling you in. If you feel misrepresented in the media, step forward for all of those who feel misrepresented. If no one's speaking out on the topics you feel passionate about, share your unique voice. There's no one on earth who comes close to possessing your unique combination of skills and gifts and life experience. Don't look to those who have come before you to work out your path. Leaders must forge their own. Do it for your daughter. Do it for the younger you. Do it for the leaders who'll follow. When you go first, you make it easier for others to follow your lead. Forge, do not follow. And then your journaling or meditation prompt is, how are you being called to forge rather than follow? How can you be the leader that you wish that you had? Yes, my loves. That's all I have for you. Again, I'm super excited for you. Let me know what manifestations or new goals y'all have coming up. This little spell bowl is doing its motherfucking thing. Look at these two flames. Y'all see that? That's Gemini energy if I ever did see it. Yes. Let me know if this resonated down in the comment section. As always, I'm available for private readings if you want additional insights or information. Check out my Stan store. All that information can be found down in the description bar. I love y'all. Please thank your ancestors, spirit guides, and angels. And until next time, this is XOMO. Bye.